Why do people fall in love with you? Have you ever wondered why some people are drawn to you? Deeply, intensely, almost irresistibly? Is it really your personality, your appearance, or your charm? Or could there be something far more profound happening beneath the surface? Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, believed that love isn't random at all. In fact, people fall in love with you for just two profound reasons, and both are deeply rooted in the unconscious layers of the human psyche. In this video, we'll explore Jung's fascinating insights on love, projection, the anima and animus, and why people are magnetically drawn to you, not because of who you seem to be, but because of what you represent in their inner world. We'll dive into the hidden psychological forces behind romantic attraction and reveal the two core reasons someone might truly fall in love with you, reasons that go far beyond surface traits, tapping into the unseen architecture of the human mind. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Temple of Discipline channel, early access to new videos and deeper insights on self and spiritual growth. Now let's get started. We often romanticize love as a magical accident, a sudden spark that lights up out of nowhere. But to Carl Jung, even the most spontaneous attractions follow a deeper, invisible order. They're not shaped by chance, but by the unconscious. What feels like instant chemistry is rarely truly spontaneous. It's the visible result of invisible forces, our inner wounds, unmet needs, and unresolved emotions, all quietly shaping who we're drawn to. Every strong connection has a structure behind it, a silent blueprint guiding us towards some people and not others. And this is where Jung introduces the idea of projection. Each of us carries hidden images inside, pieces of who we are, who we once were, or who we long to become. These inner fragments are often suppressed, denied, or forgotten, but they don't disappear. They wait, and they speak through others. When we meet someone who reflects those inner fragments, we feel a magnetic pull toward them. But in truth, what we're seeing is not them. We're seeing a part of ourselves reflected in their presence. Imagine someone who's always been cautious, emotionally reserved, even fearful of vulnerability. When they meet someone bold, expressive, and emotionally free, they might feel enchanted. But that pull goes deeper than admiration. That person activates something dormant, a potential buried beneath years of repression. And the same works in reverse. Someone might fall in love with you not for who you are on the surface, but because you unknowingly symbolize something they've been unconsciously searching for. A trait, a feeling, a quality they lack. You become a missing piece, a living symbol of something they have not yet awakened within themselves. Reason number one, you represent something they lack. It's not just about opposites attracting, it's that opposites often reveal what's missing. The rational mind may be drawn to emotion, the introvert to the extrovert, the orderly soul to the chaotic spirit. But this admiration can easily turn into dependence if the person doesn't realize that what they admire in you is something they can also grow in themselves. They may cling to you, not out of love, but from unconscious need. And once that need shifts, or once your real humanity disrupts their idealized image, the attraction may fade. That's the danger of projection. It creates an illusion of connection, one that often can't withstand the truth of reality. And when the illusion breaks, love built upon it often collapses. But Jung didn't stop there. He went deeper into the archetypes of love with the concepts of the anima and animus. According to Jung, every man holds within him an unconscious image of the feminine, his anima, and every woman carries within her an unconscious image of the masculine, her animus. These are not random preferences or social roles. They are deep, inner figures shaped by our earliest relationships, especially with parents, and by collective cultural symbols of masculinity and femininity passed down through myths and history. Over time, These archetypes become emotionally charged blueprints. We carry them unknowingly until one day we meet someone who seems to perfectly match that inner image. The attraction becomes overwhelming. It feels familiar, like we've known this person forever, even if we just met. It feels like destiny, soul recognition, a forgotten memory returning. But Jung would warn us, this isn't fate, this isn't a soulmate written in the stars. This is the psyche recognizing its own design in another human being. Reason number 2. You awaken a powerful inner image they've carried within. You might not match this image physically or behaviorally, but something about your essence activates a deep internal pattern. And that's why the connection feels so intense, so irrational. Because it's not really about you. It's about what you've come to symbolize in their inner world. Here's where things get tricky. When someone falls in love with their inner image projected onto you, they're not truly seeing you. They're seeing a fantasy, an ideal, a psychological construct. You become the screen for a movie that was written long before you arrived. And as soon as your real self begins to emerge, your flaws, your contradictions, your humanity, the fantasy begins to crack. What once felt divine becomes confusing. What felt perfect now feels complicated. Conflicts arise. Disappointment follows. The illusion collapses under the weight of truth. That's why so many intense relationships start with euphoria and end in chaos. They weren't built on mutual understanding, but on archetypal projection. And no one can live up to a fantasy forever. If you're finding this video valuable so far, consider liking and sharing it with someone who could benefit. You can also support Temple of Discipline by clicking the Thanks button below. Let's continue. Despite the confusion and heartbreak projection can bring, Jung didn't view it as a failure. Quite the opposite. He saw it as necessary for growth. Love to Jung wasn't just emotional, it was transformational. Everyone we fall for becomes a mirror. What we see in them is what we need to see in ourselves. Some people reflect our potential, others expose our fears. Some spark our creativity, others awaken our insecurities. But they all serve the same psychological purpose: to accelerate individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming whole. So when someone falls in love with you, they might feel something magical, and they're right. But the magic is not in you, it's in what you awaken within them. You are not just a person, you're a symbol, a turning point, a psychological invitation. And the same is true in reverse. The people you fall in love with, especially the ones who shake you, break you, change you, they're not accidents. They are carriers of meaning, catalysts for your inner evolution. Some people come to wake you up, others come to teach you hard lessons. Some simply show you your own reflection, distorted or clear, depending on how ready you are to look. Not all relationships are meant to last. Some are meant to disrupt, now some are meant to break patterns. Jung called these synchronistic events moments that seem random but are profoundly meaningful. When someone shows up at just the right moment and stirs something powerful within you, it's not a coincidence. Your unconscious was ready. Theirs was too, and that meeting was the sign. Change had already begun. Even the painful relationships, even the ones that leave scars, are not mistakes. In fact, they are often the most important ones. So why do people fall in love with you? Because you either reflect something they desperately need, or you activate something they had forgotten. In both cases, love is not really about you. It's about the self trying to evolve. And the same goes for you. You fall in love with those who mirror your missing parts, who match your inner images, who, knowingly or not, carry the key to your next phase of growth. But if you don't become aware of these patterns, you risk staying trapped in repetition, attracted to the same types, replaying the same dynamics, chasing the same illusions. You might think you're unlucky in love, but in truth, your unconscious is just trying to teach you something you're not yet ready to learn. To Jung, the answer is awareness. Once you recognize your projections, your inner figures, your emotional patterns, you stop seeking someone to complete you. You start becoming whole within yourself. And from that place, love transforms. It's no longer built on fantasy or fear. It becomes real, grounded, free, because in the end, the deepest love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about awakening the parts of yourself that have been waiting to be seen. You don't just fall in love with others. You fall in love with the version of yourself they help you uncover. Understanding love through Jung's lens shows us it's never just about the other person. It's always a journey back to the self. If this video helped you reflect on love and connection, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And don't forget to subscribe to Temple of Discipline for more deep, thought-provoking content about psychology, relationships, and the inner world.